Hey, it's Dr. Anthony G. Beck, creator of Balance Protocol, and you're going to want to listen to this because one of the big topics that's all out there, all over the place, is keto. So I'm going to talk to you about keto contraindications. So that means things that make the keto approach not a beneficial thing for a lot of people. Now, the vast majority of people out there going keto did it for just a couple of different reasons. Number one, for weight loss. Number two, because it's supposedly healthy based upon some presupposition. Or the third thing is that it's what the narrative of it's what your body prefers, and for brain health and all these other kind of fun things. I've been a clinician in functional and integrative medicine now for 27 years. I've used ketogenic diets therapeutically for at least a quarter of a century. It's nothing new just because it's out there in the space these days. But here's the thing. As you know, Balance Protocol states that you're a category of one. Everyone is absolutely different. And though you can go and try on a whole bunch of different shoes your size, until you actually walk in them, you don't really know what you're going to get or how they're going to feel. Well, the interesting thing about ketogenic is there's also a big marketing push about them. They're always going to quote the studies and the science. Well, here's the thing. Never once do they ever show you in that study, how did you equal and were qualified for all those participants in that study or not? Okay, that's inclusionary and exclusionary criteria. I see patients all the time who go the ketogenic approach for these different supposed claims and methods and reasons for benefit, absolutely wreck their metabolism. Why? Because they don't know the status of their system's biology. You have to realize that when you drive in a whole bunch of fat into the body, you're presupposing your body has the enzymatic and physiological and biological capacity to now handle all of those big boluses of fat. Okay? In order to process fat, in order to digest it, to break it down, absorb it, transport it, and assimilate it requires a whole bunch of different nutrients. And if you start off insufficient on various nutrients and certain pathways, you start pumping in all that fat and you're going to put a lot of taxation on you. This is why so many people have experienced that keto flu or different things. And of course, the idiots out there, the niche pickers, everybody who says, hey, listen, I'm the keto expert, even though they just learned about it maybe a couple of years ago and it's marketable now and they can sell you a bunch of products, is going to tell you to keep going. Just keep going. Push through the pain, as some of them say. Well, that's stupid. That doesn't. Where does that ever even occur or be proven in any other aspect in life? When things are terrible and you're feeling bad, you keep doing more of it. Okay, isn't that insanity? The point is this: there are different physiological pathways in your body that may not be able to perform the duties of processing an increased amount of fat. For example, one of the tests that I do is a urine organic acid for subric and adipic acid. Those markers, if they're elevated, that means your body has an impaired fatty acid metabolism. So you start driving in fat, your body's not going to process that for energy and into the Krebs cycle, much less be able to produce ketones. Okay, it's actually going to put a tremendous amount of taxation on the body and can lead to the very same things while you're going after keto anyways, when it comes to combating fatigue or losing weight or increasing performance. So the moral of the story is, if you don't know your biological pathways, the status of your functional nutrient pathways, and you start into a diet like that and you start feeling bad, well, there's all kinds of possible reasons for that. So the upshot is keto, yes, it can be a very useful clinical tool through the context of the individual, but the only way to be able to determine that is through proper functional assessments and testing of the pathways that will be asked to handle all that extra fat. And then that's just metabolically, not to mention the fact of the health and the status of your hooter to your tutor, your inner tube, okay, the GI. Some of you guys may or may not have made the MCT oil mistake in that silly stuff. That was another marketing ruse called Bulletproof Coffee. But anyways, yes, it has its place, but again, through the context of the individual. So at the end of the day, once you understand something, keto can be beneficial, but there's a lot of contraindications. If you ever really want to figure out if keto is a useful or beneficial potential strategy for you to embark upon, you better get some functional laboratory assessments to substantiate it and monitor it along the way, because more ketone is not better. At the end of the day, you will always have blood sugar. You always have glucose. There's no way you can stop it. If you did, you'd be dead. So it is your body's preferential fuel, hands down, 10 days a Sunday. I don't care what all the supposed experts who've just been talking about it for the last 2-3 years are saying. Don't believe me. Do your own research, and that research requires you to test your system's biology and find out what your status is and how these substances affect you when you consume them. All right, guys, until next time, live life in balance.